And this man kept mute and is making useless and senseless statements. Who is he? He's a bastard. He can go and hang himself if he so desire. But for the people, we are moving forward, and IPOB is bigger than anybody. IPOB is bigger than even Nnamdi Kanu. It is about the people, not just an Igbo people, an Igbo extraction. It involves the Sekiris, it involves the Jaws, it involves the Ogojas, it involves, what do you call them? You see, all the regions within the old Eastern region makes up the Biafran people.
The news headline, we are not part of you. Governor Wike sent serious warnings to IPOB members. What do you think about this statement?
That is very funny enough to come from a man that should understand the season we are in. It's quite unfortunate that it's coming from the governor of Rivers State. And considering the population of River indigenes, the residents, the Igbos have the majority of the population. So who is he referring to? We do not belong to IPOB. Is it the Igbos? Besides, the IPOB represents indigenous people of Biafra. And every region within the South Eastern region forms the Biafran territory. So what is he referring to? What did he mean by that? So Wike, I think, is becoming more distracted at this time, when he should understand what the people are clamoring for, what is the expectation of the people. Even in his own state, he's owing arrears and have not been able to offset those arrears. I mean, the civil service, the civil servants are not faring better either, even under his administration. So what is he saying? With enormous resources allocated to Rivers State, Rivers State is still in shambles. Have the people felt the impact of his governance? As a governor, can he give an account of his stewardship to the people of Rivers State and the entire indigenous or residents of Rivers? So they are part of this conspiracy. They are part of this conspiracy that is ongoing in Nigeria. So they are also part of the victim of this misgovernance, which of course Wike has been a gross beneficiary of that system. The flawed system that allowed them to become richer than even the states. No wonder he's going about making noise. I think it's high time he should be called to order. What do you mean? Is he representing the people? Wike is just a man. He cannot speak for the populace of Rivers State. He can't force them to deny their identity. We have the Equators, we have the Igbo speaking region within this Port Harcourt. I mean, even Port Harcourt itself is an Igbo region, is an Igbo state, but was renamed after a foreigner. You see, it's Igbocha. That is what is being called, Igbocha. So it is in any way, his statement does not make any sense. It is the people that decides who they are, and they cannot deny or scrap their identity. So Wike should go and rest. He should go and rest and begin to count his losses. Of course, we are not forgetting too soon the gruesome murder. Of course, he is considered as the little Hitler. We understood his antecedents in recent past, where he deployed Nigerian armies of Fulani extraction to commit genocide against the Igbo race. So I think he's trying to remind us of the recent past, which we are not forgetting too soon. So IPOB is on ground, and he is never a match. All his life, all his family can never. Who is he? So it's nobody to discuss about or to pose a threat to IPOB or to the restoration of Biafra. I think this message to be passed across to him, that it's the people that owns the land. It's the people that owns the governor. So it's just privileged to have been there for an elective period of 4 years, and probably he has been returned for another 4 years. After the 4 years, he has to leave, vacate the office for the people, and the people decide who next if Nigeria still exists. But above all, I think the people at this time have come in terms with reality that they are no longer part of this system called Nigeria, because they have lost that sense of belonging. And you can see the level of intimidation meted out to the old eastern region. The presence of the federal government has not been felt within those regions. You can see almost 95 or 90% of the resources used to run this country come from that region. But those regions are the most neglected region within the contraction called Nigeria. Look at the flaring of gases. I mean, everywhere has been desecrated. Our farmland has been desecrated, you see, by the spilling of crude oil. Look at the organic cleanup. For over decades now, it has been politicized. And Wike himself is not doing anything about that. If he really meant well for his own people, he came from that region, he's not speaking out. And this project has been lying fallow. Nobody's talking about that. And the present dispensation government is busy constructing railway from Nigeria to Niger Republic, to Chad. And we have not come to that consciousness to ask why, by virtue of the position he occupies. The Ogoni land is there, people has lost their source of water. They have lost their source of livelihood, their farmland. The fishermen could no longer access the rivers because of the oil spillage and what have you. And this man kept mute and is making useless and senseless statements. Who is he? He's a bastard. He can go and hang himself if he so desire. But for the people, we are moving forward, and IPOB is bigger than anybody. IPOB is bigger than even Nnamdi Kanu. It is about the people, not just an Igbo people, an Igbo extraction. It involves the Shekiris, it involves the Jaws, it involves the Ogojas, it involves, what do you call them? You see, all the regions within the old eastern region makes up the Biafran people. So I don't see that, or I don't consider his statement as any threat to the vision of IPOB.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chigozie. Okay, so over to the next headline. We have federal government not responsible for prosecuting kidnappers, bandits, says Lai Mohammed. What do you have to say as regards what Lai Mohammed? We recall that the PDP already made mention that the present government should be responsible for the security of the nation. So this comment is coming like him trying to respond to what PDP have said.
It's a very big shame on the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, or whatever you call him. At this time, he has no one to blame. If it was during their first tenure dispensation, they would have levied the whole blame on Jonathan. Jonathan was responsible for their failure. Now, having returned the second time in office, the second tenure, they have no person to blame. Rather, they try to shift the blame, to push it aside, exonerating themselves why they should have been, they should have covered their faces in shame. What is the primary responsibility of governments? Is to protect the life of her citizens and their property. Once you fail in this primary objective, you have woefully failed. You shouldn't be considered a sovereign state. Your sovereign state suggests that you have the capability, both military capability, to maintain internal and external peace, security, to defend the integrity of the country, of the states. It's unfortunately that internal crisis is almost consuming this country, the states, and the so-called government could make such silly statements. It's a height of irresponsibility on the part of the Lai Mohammed and his likes, his allies. They have failed in this primary objective. Then how do you expect them to deliver dividends of democracy? Why, if they can't create the enabling environment to attract and engender prosperity, to attract foreign investors? Because it's foreign investors, when you allow people to come in, they come with their resources, they come with their technical know-how, they come with their economic prowess, knowledge to advance the cause of your own people. By so doing, they create enabling environment, a great job for the people. Most people are, of course, being retrenched, having no other job alternative to fall back to. It's quite unfortunate that such an old man who should be resting in his balcony is still making such irresponsible statements. It's unfortunate. It's only in Nigeria you can have such people having a fit day.